A pleasant day to everyone. I'm American Pascual from MAED and I will present to you Bradley's effectiveness model. Dr. Leo H. Bradley is the proponent of effectiveness model of curriculum development. This was made public when his book entitled Curriculum Leadership and Development Handbook was published in 1985. The handbook discussed 10 key indicators that can be used to measure the effectiveness of a developed curriculum. There is actually no framework, but instead, a simple checklist was provided as shown in the slide. In evaluating a curriculum using this model, an evaluator simply has to identify whether the indicator is present by writing yes, and if absent by writing no. According to Bradley, indicators with a no mark should be looked after and be improved to achieve a yes mark. Let us now go through each of the indicators. Vertical curriculum continuity. Vertical curriculum refers to the repetition of one concept, skill, or competency over time with an increase of difficulty. Just like in the K-12 curriculum, subjects are in a spiral scheme wherein a subject is taught from simple to complex. In this way, all subjects are connected from one level to another, avoiding curriculum void and repetition. Curriculum void happens when a subject or competency is taught but is not related to other competency from the same or other subjects, or will not be improved anymore in the future study from the same curriculum. The second one is horizontal curriculum continuity, where lesson plan and content is consistent. So horizontal curriculum continuity is ensuring that students of the same grade level receives the same set of curricula. So according to Bradley, the only way to ensure this is to observe classes and review the lesson plans being used by a teacher and compare it to the rest of the lesson plans being used by the others from the same grade level and subject. The third one is instruction based on curriculum. So this simply means that the set of competencies taught to students are aligned or derived from the objectives of the curriculum. Therefore, all lesson plans or course syllabus, books, and any other resource material to be used in a school must help or support the goals of the curriculum being used. Curriculum priority. Financial and philosophical commitment, clerical assistance, and meeting agenda. So curriculum priority is exhibited when philosophical and financial commitment are present in a way that teachers are not asked to do clerical works and that these are left to be done by hired clerks in school. It is sufficient to say that teachers have more important tasks to do about the curriculum than typing or writing not so important paper works. As for financial commitment, teachers should also receive salary to compensate for work done aside from the regular salary received every month. So for example, is pay for teacher substitution. So curriculum priority is also exhibited when the curriculum use is discussed as part of the agenda from the supervisorial level meetings to teacher level meetings. This is an evidence that curriculum development is a priority and a matter that should be discussed by everyone who plans and evaluates the curriculum. Broad involvement. Building representation, principal attendance, quality time for staff. So according to Bradley, broad involvement is making sure that all buildings are well represented during meetings when curriculum development happens. In our local setting, the term buildings may refer to departments, grade level, or any unit in the school. Moreover, Bradley emphasized that principals must ensure that the representatives, such as teachers, will have enough quality time to share their thoughts about the curriculum. Further, other people may be involved in the curriculum development as long as they are aware of their roles or functions in the given meeting. Sixth is long-range planning. So we have here written 5-year plan, consistent theory into practice curriculum permission. So long-range planning can be observed from tangible and intangible evidence. Tangible evidence refers to the documentation of, let us say, a 5-year plan of curriculum development and revision. And the intangible evidence is attained when curriculum developers and implementers make meaning out of the ongoing documentation. This is observed when the curriculum is examined in the lens of philosophies and theories the curriculum tries to adhere to. So in this way, stakeholders understand where they are and where they are going to in the curriculum that is being implemented in their school. So the next one is decision-making clarity, which includes the statement controversies center on why and not on who. Simply put, decision-making must center on the decision itself and not on who makes the decisions because it can create controversy in implementing the curriculum. Let us say in the Philippines, when a new curriculum is being implemented, some people usually raise question on which political party is proposing the curriculum, and they form their opinion about the curriculum based on this information. So this may lead to corrupting the purpose of the curriculum. This is also evident in school-level implementation of curriculum, best practices, or even in using techniques. So according to Bradley, one mark of an effective curriculum is its focus on the decisions made and not on those who made those decisions. Next is positive human relations. There is a minimal tension, positive disagreements, broad initiation of thought. So the model suggests that in any meeting, opinion or ideas must come from teachers, principals, other groups, and the curriculum leader himself. In short, ideas do not come from the leader alone. And since ideas come from different parties, disagreements may arise, but everyone should not close their communications with the others. Therefore, positive human relations happen when people communicate their thoughts to the members of the group, and most importantly, when they try to avoid creating tension with the other groups. So, theory into practice approach. Consistency, and it must be recognizable. Theory into practice approach is evident if everyone, from the higher ups to teachers, know what the goal of the curriculum is, and also making sure that the day-to-day activities of the school are based on these objectives. As how Bradley put it, the indicators of theory into practice can be such things as basic skill emphasis, grading procedures, grouping patterns, promotion policy, homework policy, required curriculum, effective curriculum, learning materials, individualization, and etc. So the last one is planned change. So we have here verified deficiencies data, reasonable likelihood of improvement data. So plan change is about making plans on improving the current curriculum and that all concerned people inside and outside the school all agree on implementing these changes. So this means that the plans that are being made should be agreeable to people from school, such as the principals and the teachers, and from outside supervisors, parents, and other members of the community. Moreover, the plans should no longer be about how the curriculum will be implemented, but on how to improve whatever is at hand regarding the curriculum. So, for example, before implementing the distance learning for public and private schools this year, stakeholders should agree about its implementation and that the plans should not be on contemplating how it will be implemented, but it should center on what is the better way of implementing it. So after going through the checklist, an evaluator must check if any of the 10 indicators are identified with a no, which is negative, and then making considerations to make it a yes indicator. Therefore, improvements will be done on areas where no is written. So to sum, the given indicators represent working characteristics that any complex organization must have in order to be responsive and responsible to its clients. Further, the measurement can be oriented to meet the needs of any school district from large to small, and it can focus on a specific evaluation of a district's curriculum area, such as reading, language arts, math, or any content area designated. Moreover, these indicators are recognized and supported in other models such as well as Tyler's, Tafelbeam's, and Scrivens.